Let's talk about professional branding. Let's start a conversation that I will title Famous or Infamous: The Power of a Professional Brand. We're going to discuss how to brand, what is a brand, and why bother to brand at all. But before we do that, I want to ask you a question. In terms of a professional brand, what is a difference between Eminem and Chris Brown? Ready? Eminem has never been involved in a controversy or scandal that has really threatened to end his career. On the other hand, you may recall that in 2009, Chris Brown was involved in an incident where he hit his then girlfriend Rhianna. And it was all over the papers, and no one was sure that Chris Brown would continue to have a career after that. When Eminem is in trouble, Eminem is on brand. He's taught us that he's some kind of crazy genius, and we assimilate that and move on every time he does that because we know that's who he is, and it's also related to the excellent product he puts out there with his music. On the other hand, in 2009, we didn't know Chris Brown as a bad boy. And truth be told, Chris Brown didn't have enough of a robust brand so that this incident with Rhianna could be treated as a scandal within the larger Chris Brown brand. So what do I mean by the latter? You may recall that Janet Jackson had that Super Bowl wardrobe incident. And with the passage of time, that turned out to be a scandal within the larger Janet Jackson brand. There was also J-Lo's incident. J-Lo was involved many years ago in a nightclub shooting. She didn't shoot anybody. She was just there. But, the entire controversy around the incident engulfed J-Lo, but it also turned out to be just a scandal within the broader J-Lo brand. Neither the Super Bowl incident nor the nightclub incident defined these women going forward. On the other hand, the Rhianna incident branded Chris Brown. Even today, a decade later, many of us, when we hear Chris Brown's name, top of mind is the Rhianna incident and that Chris Brown is that guy that hits girls. So let's go back to the 3 points. How do you brand? A lot of people, when it comes to branding, think it's so dehumanizing, it's so synthetic. And I will tell you that branding is the complete opposite of that. Branding is about identifying what makes you special, what it is about you that is different from everybody else that you're competing with in the marketplace. Now, here's the key. That thing has to be relevant to your target audience. It can't be something that's special about you, but it's important to your mother. It has to be important to your potential customers. Another point with regards to branding, people tend to think colors, logos. These things are not your brand. They're your brand symbols. They are important because they say something about your brand, just like my clothes says something about me. But my clothes doesn't define me, and brand symbols are not the same thing as a brand. They do not define the brand. Now, what is your brand? And this is the most difficult thing in branding because a brand exists in the mind of the people out there. It's the way that you're perceived by others. So how then do you begin to establish a brand? Well, you establish a brand by first defining it. And the deeper that you go into that exercise, the richer your brand will be. But then you have to educate others through marketing, through brand expansion activities. You have to tell people who you are, tell them again, and also be prepared to defend your brand. Why go through all of this? Why brand at all? You brand for a few reasons. One of them is to get out of commodity territory. What is a commodity? A commodity is something that in a category could be easily replaced by something else. So for example, in the world of music, a commodity may be a backup singer. If a backup singer could be easily replaced by another backup singer, they're in commodity territory. And here's the problem with that. Brands are valuable, but commodities are cheap. You also brand to maintain an inelastic value. What is that? that means that even as the economy goes down, your value stays high. So here's an example. The economy is good, and you may go ahead and spend $50 to go see a singer you've never heard of. If the economy tanks, you're no longer going to do that. But you know what you're going to do? You're still going to go see Beyonce. And you're going to pay Beyonce the full price of her ticket. You also brand because you want to control the way people see you. You want people to see you as you see yourself. You don't want other people to define you. And mostly, you brand so that, like Chris Brown, you are not defined by scandal. If you like this video, click below to go to my blog where I have more information regarding branding and marketing and how to execute them. Thank you for watching.